Well, good afternoon folks, and welcome to another review video. Today we're in Canada and we're looking at an executive airport, a completely GA airport with a few interesting bits and pieces. We are at Oshawa Executive Airport, Charlie Yankee Oscar Oscar. This is a payware version by Roman Design. This is version 1.2. I've looked at and reviewed quite a number of Roman sceneries. He's a really classy developer, takes on these GA airports and does a really nice job, and you're in for a treat here. So this is version 1.2 that I have. Downloads is 174 meg and it installs into your community folder at 416 meg. It's available directly from the developer's website, and I'll put the link up in front of you so you can see it. Price, it's 19 Canadian dollars, $19.99 Canadian, which equates to $15.58 US or £12.70 UK. UK and US prices are estimates, and since the Canadian purchase shows no tax added when I bought it, and I did buy this, I assume that any VAT or tax is already included. So those prices are their estimates apart from the Canadian one, and I assume that they include tax. This of course may vary depending on your country and where you are at the time when you make the purchase. So as I said, it's available directly from the developer's website. The gentleman's name is Roman Barshadsky. He's a single man developer, and in general terms he does a really good job. His other sceneries are stunning, and this is still being updated. There are still things to do, and I found one or two little anomalies which have been pointed out to him, and it's just lovely. So let's get started with a little bit of history. This general aviation airport does have a lot of history attached to it. It's been around for a while, and a lot of people and a lot of things happen here. So let's look at that. It's a beautiful location. Let's talk some history. Oshawa Executive Airport, Charlie Yankee Oscar Oscar, is a municipal airport located close to the north end of the city of Oshawa in Ontario, Canada. It is the busiest general aviation airport that does not have a scheduled airline service in the Greater Toronto area by aircraft movements, and one of the busiest general aviation only airports in Canada. It includes 2 paved runways and has full instrument approach options listed in the Canadian AIP. Oshawa Executive Airport is managed and maintained by Total Aviation and Airport Solutions, or TAAS, under contract from the operator, which is the City of Oshawa. TASS also operate and control the fuel pumps on the North Apron. Commercial radio stations CKDO and CKGE-FM licensed to Oshawa, and the CJKX, also licensed to Ajax, operate from studios on the Oshawa Airport grounds. These organisations operate on former airport land at the entrances to the airport on Taunton Road. Mandarin Chinese Buffet Restaurant, Taunton Health Centre, part of the largest and multi-speciality medical group practice in Canada, including urgent care, laboratory, pharmacy and a dental office aptly named the Airport Dental Centre. Airport Self-Storage Limited, with 10 buildings on 6 acres, National Defence, the Ontario Regiment, Royal Canadian Armoured Corps, Oshawa Airport Armoury and the Durham Children's Aid Society are all located on this airport. The airport's classified as an airport of entry by NAV Canada and is staffed on call by the Canadian Border Services Agency, or CBSA. Officers at this airport can handle aircraft with no more than 50 passengers. The airport opened in June 1941 under the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan as Elementary Flying Training School No. 20 at the RCAF station, Oshawa. Student pilots trained in Tiger Moth aircraft and were looked after by civilian instructors from the Oshawa, Kingston and Brent, Norfolk flying clubs. A relief landing field was located at Whitby. The school closed in December 1944 and the airfield was turned over to the Department of Transport. The then town of Oshawa took over the facility in 1947. planned construction of a Pickering Airport between Oshawa and Toronto raised questions about the future of Oshawa Airport. In 2018, the mayor of nearby Pickering made the construction of a new modern jet airport in Pickering a key part of his platform, winning a landslide victory. Local media continues to report that there remains strong opposition to the construction of the Pickering Airport by some residents. The project was initiated in 1972, then placed on hold in 1975. The Greater Toronto Airports Authority is not related to Oshawa Airport in any way, and as of 2011 has no further role in Pickering Airport's development. In 2008, the City of Oshawa adopted the Oshawa Municipal Airport Business Plan, which includes a commitment to operate the airport for a minimum of 25 years. Dozens of upgrades completed by 2010 include construction of a new taxiway Charlie, Phase 1 of the hangar minimum complex, cardlock fuel facility and automated weather observation system known as AWOS. Plans to upgrade the airport further and to lengthen the runway to attract more traffic met with stiff opposition from local residents. In the end, in August 2012, these plans were dropped. What did happen, however, was the closure of the airport for up to 4 weeks to allow reconstruction of the preferred runway 3012, new LED edge lighting and the PAPIs, and at the same time NAV Canada decided to relocate and upgrade the control tower, the original being over 50 years old. So there you go, quite a bit of history with this airport. It's a stunning little place. So let's have a look at runways. So it's 9:10 in the evening local time, summertime here, it's June. Just thought we'd drop the lighting down so you can get a general look, and we're looking down the throat of runway 30. Oshawa Executive has two runways, runway 3012 and runway 2305. Runway 3012, which we're looking at now, is 4,250 feet or 1,295 meters long and is constructed from asphalt. This runway is equipped at both ends with high-intensity runway lighting system, runway end identifier lights and precision approach path indicators on the left side, and you can see that clearly here. Runway also supports RNAV and visual approach options, and runway 30 is the preferred runway. So a quick look for you at runway 12, the opposite end of the runway that's preferred, as it were. As you can see, have the same equipment, high intensity runway lighting, end identifier lights and the PAPIs on the left side. So runway 2305 is 2,654 feet or 809 meters and is also made from asphalt. This runway is equipped with medium intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lights and precision approach path indicators again on the left side of the runway. And you can see actually the lighting is pretty much the same as the other runway, so I don't think it's possible in Flight Simulator to turn the lighting down as such, but that's what you've got: high intensity lighting on the main runway, medium intensity lighting on this cross runway. And as per the other runway, this particular runway 2305 also supports RNAV and visual approach options. And pilots should note there's no flying between the hours of 22:30 and 06:30 local time. Airport's effectively closed to operations between those hours. So there you go, that was the history and a close look at the runway system here at the airport. Let's get down and dirty, so to speak, and have a look at this airport close up. There's a lot to see and there's actually some beautiful modelling, and again it's a lovely location. So here we go, let's have a look. So we start with a few shots, local shots here at some of the buildings and bits and pieces on the airport. Here's my Cessna 172 Classic, painted in the colours of VirtualAirlinePilot Air, VAP Air. As you can see, it's the attention to detail is excellent. Roman is a really good developer and knows how to work on this, even down to the fence line, which you can see there to the left, which, take it from me, surrounds a whole airport. It's excellent. So looking at some of the main buildings, this is the main airport building here on the airport. Now there's no internal development in these buildings, but what Roman has done is he's created the glass effect on many of the buildings, and you'll see when we go into the darkness hours a lot more clearly, such that it looks as though they're actually in use, as it were. And the modelling on this building is particularly good. I mean, look at the foliage, all hand placed. The building looks excellent, slightly weathered. But everything down to the air conditioning units on the top, and even these light poles are so detailed. Really impressive. So another view of the Canadian Flight Academy here now, and you can see the fence line is as it should be. This is ICAO regulations, and he's absolutely got it right. The fence is meant to be 2.9 meters high with a crank neck, razor wire on top, set into concrete or set into ground, with a 3-meter clearway either side of the fence. So that's absolutely as per international regulations. I know because I had 40 years in airport security. But again, you look at the building there, attention to detail is wonderful. And here's a close-up, and here you can see what I mean by about the sort of the way he's created the illusion of things going on inside. I mean, this looks completely real. Here, picture on the wall there. This looks really wonderful. The only anomaly you can see here is this gap between the building and the ground. But this happens a lot in many sceneries, and there are a lot of issues with these things. I don't think it's necessarily the fault of the developer, but that's just nitpicking really. This is a beautiful building, wonderfully textured and beautifully designed and modelled. And you get this amazing feeling of what's going on inside, even though the building's actually empty. Here we're looking at the other side of the building. Again, you've got the Unicom frequency that's on this airport. Really nice attention to detail here. Everything's sharp and precise. And here, look, even looking in the side of the entrance doorway, you can see that it looks real. And again, looking through the windows here, curtains, pictures on the wall. It's just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So just a quick look across the ramp there. As you can see, you've got numerous static aircraft. Buildings are just nicely done, as are the ground textures and signs. Here, going into the runway, you can see you've got active wigwags that are working. The ground signage is good, and thankfully, which is something I've had trouble in my last couple of reviews, thankfully no vehicles entering and going up and down the runways. Yep, they go up and down the taxiways, and I think we can deal with that. But the last two sceneries I've looked at, we've unfortunately been suffering from runway incursions. So Roma has fully modelled 4 hangars that are open, complete with their interiors, and you can actually start from them. You can select a position. If you look at the PDF file that he produces with this, you can actually select a position to actually start a flight within a hangar. So let's look at one or two of these hangars up close. So here's this hangar we just looked at a second ago, and the detail inside excellent. You've got the aircraft correctly modelled, another one in the middle there, loads of bits and pieces, flags hanging from the ceiling. And what I really like about this hangar, and others which we'll see later, is this. Modelling so good right down to the tool set. I mean, look at that. So impressive. The modelling here inside the hangar here, I mean, look at this, the chair. I mean, the detail in this hangar is just incredible. See, look at that, we're really right up close, and there's no blurring at all of that sign at all. It's just stunning, wonderful. And again on the other side of the hangar here, look, a couple more signs, really small, up close. It's been beautifully done. A lovely model of the Beach King Air there, and the flags hanging from the roof. And on the office building attached to the hangar, again you've got this amazing attention to detail where you can see inside. You've got this illusion of seeing inside the building and the offices that looks really crisp and clear. I recently looked at a scenery in Asia where they had shops and things designed in the building, and they had photographs that were such low resolution it just totally didn't work. Here's an example of where it really does work. There's nothing inside this building, yet you've got this done here to such an extent that you can believe that there is. It's really impressive. And just coming around to the side of the hangar, looking at the landside car park. It's really nice. All crisp, properly marked out. The car models are not bad at all. Not the best I've seen, but they're good enough. And again, you've got this illusion looking through the windows that things are going on inside. Obviously the military are here as well. Just a shot here to let you know. I mean, I've not seen these models before. I'm not sure. I presume they're custom, but they're really, really nicely done. Crisp and clear, shadowing, materials. I mean, they look excellent. A little later, I'll show you some armoured vehicles that have been done on the other side. Again, you've got these custom-built models of buildings that have been developed, and they look really nice. Probably my only criticism is the fact that they sit on extremely low resolution photo ground. Possibly if Roman has time and if he feels inclined to do so, entirely up to him. I understand if he doesn't. It'd be nice if we could develop this in such a way that these buildings look a little bit more real upon the ground they sit on. Not the easiest of things, because you've got photo scenery all over the place. If I come up a little bit, see there, you've got the main road that goes past those buildings and all the way up, which is photoreal, and looking in the other direction. Obviously the higher you go, the better it works, but you can see I mean, these buildings are really wonderful, but it's just kind of slightly spoiled a little bit by these sitting on these photoreal maps that don't really do it justice. But again, that's just nitpicking from me really. What you've got is quality all over the place. So there we are looking across the airport. Again, you've got all these wonderfully designed custom buildings here and here and here, and this beautiful building over here, and even some off-airport buildings here too. Over here you've got a number of hangars, a couple of which are open that you can start from. Let's go have a look at them. So what I will do here is just take a pass towards the hangars over the top here, so you can look at the quality of the design here. Some lovely stuff. Everything right down to little airport signs has been properly done. Here's one of the two hangars, or one of the four hangars I should say. There's another one. Let's look inside here. There you go. Again, you've got this same attention to detail. It's just beautifully done. I mean, okay, it's the same sort of texture that's been used before, you know, but it works. It just works. And a close-up look inside. Again, all the equipment, bits and pieces there that just make that thing look real. It's very impressive. Let's check out this other hangar. Now, you'll be forgiven for thinking that possibly he's had exactly the same hangar as modelled as the one we just looked at. There is a slight difference, mainly because of the equipment inside it. You've got this thing here. These have been added to make it look a bit different from one we've looked at. And we've got a steerman. I believe this is a steerman parked inside. But it's lovely to see this, and basically to see the work done so that it's not exact repetition. I mean, that's the hallmark of a good developer in my opinion. So there you go, just to look across the hangars from a higher level, so you can look at the ground markings. Are all excellent. Everything right down to the stop signs here has been properly modelled. We'll look at one or two of the signs. So here's one of the signs just outside the hangar's entrance. Again, nicely modelled, very clear, beautifully done. And everything has been done here, right down to the fire hydrant, and these all little bits and pieces. Here's a close look at the side of the building here. Look how clear this sign is. It's a small sign stuck on the side of the building, and it's weathered. It is spectacular stuff. This is the sort of modelling I like to see, and when they do it on a big scale on an international airport, you know, for me it's a must-have, even though probably you don't fly in and out of it that much. I will be in this. Now I've got the Cessna in my livery, we will be doing some exploring around here. It's such a lovely airport. And just another view here showing you the way this building is developed, and these little touches. You know, there's the little forklift, there's some pallets there, what looks like a picnic table. That's actually probably a thing where it's a cable wind, but they stuck it out there as a picnic table. But here again, you look at the doors, the side of the building here. I mean, the little attention to detail is stunning. Here we are looking out across the taxiway, blue airfield edge lights. Signs look good even from this distance. So there's a view looking back across the main airport area. It just looks really wonderful. Quick look at this area here. Again, wonderful attention to detail. Modelling is excellent. You've got the light poles there. It'd be interesting to see this in the darkness hours, but it all looks really good. The models are great. I don't know which are these. This is probably default and this is default. This is a Scorpion fire tender. Don't know if it's included in Oshawa models or whether Roman's done it, but it does look good. So one little anomaly I did point out to Roman. I'm just going to have a look at it. I'm not sure whether these aircraft should be parked out here in the grass. There's nothing on the chart that shows this as being a parking area at all. It may be something he's done, or it may be something that Oshawa does. And again, you see you've got vehicles going out into the grass. There's nothing on the chart that indicates that this in any way is a parking or accessible area. But that's something that'll be sorted out, I'm sure. Let's go to the south side of the airport, look at the control tower. So low pass over the taxiways, heading for the south side of the airport. Again, there you can see wigwags, custom taxiway and runway markings. He's done them himself. These aren't default, and they do look good. So here's Nav Canada's control tower building, the new one that was constructed and moved onto this side of the airfield. Beautiful place. Love the concrete texture here. And there is modelling inside the tower, so let's have a look. So close-up look from outside first. You can see the inside of the tower is nicely developed and it looks good through the glass. And here we are inside the tower looking out. You can see our friend sitting here. We've got the lone controller on duty today. The screens are excellent. It's just lovely modelling. Everything's crisp and clear. It's beautifully done. And looking in the other direction there. And if I'm not mistaken, he's even got the right airport on the radar screen. Just having a good look here. Actually, no, he hasn't. It's close. But we've got an extra runway here. I thought for a minute this was the actual airport on the screen, which would have been amazing. But actually, if we look here, you can see almost see details. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. Okay, that's as close as I can get, unfortunately. So I can't actually see the name of the airport on there. But nonetheless, the detail here is absolutely incredible. He's done an amazing job. It's really impressive, very, very nice inside. And again, you've got this wonderful modelling on the outside of the building here. You can see in through the glass, and again, even this window here has been done so that you can see that there's something inside. Just the one window, and he's still decided to pay attention, which I think is amazing. Once again, nice modelling on the layout here. Here you can see the fence line, all the little buildings are really beautifully done. Various boxes and containers here, all nicely rusted and weathered. It's just great. This is one of the nicest sceneries I've looked at for a long time. I don't do a lot of GA flying, and maybe I should. The refuse truck there, all looks really good. Again, the unfortunate thing is that you've got this photo ground where the resolution is so low it doesn't really look very good. It kind of spoils the effect that's been done. The modelling is fantastic, and it's been shown up to some extent by the photoreal ground that doesn't work. Possibly if Roman feels inclined, it's entirely up to him. Again, as I've said previously, it would be a lot of work, and I understand if it's not something you really want to do, but if this could be 3D'd to the same quality and standard that this has, then it would look even better. You know, it would just be the icing on the cake for me. I said we'd look at some tanks, some armoured personnel carriers. Here we are. again, I pointed this out to Roman. You've got these wonderful vehicles, but they're kind of half sunk in the ground. Let's look at one that's probably not quite as bad. So a nice armoured car, beautifully modelled. Unfortunately it's sunk into the ground a bit, but as I said, I've told Roman about this. I'm sure these little anomalies will be worked on. But again, it's a beautiful model. Look at the rustiness on it. And the detail on the tyres. There's nothing here, no squarey bits or anything like that. It's all beautifully done. I'm just looking from the other side there. It's exactly the same. This is the side you wouldn't necessarily see or look at. And even then, it's the detail is excellent. And again, you've got these beautifully modelled military vehicles that really look the part. They look fantastic. Now here we are, some personnel carriers that aren't affected by the ground drop problem. And again, you've got a truck by it. Just really, really beautiful. Very impressive. Little look from the other side there. They just look great. There's just no other word for it. They're really, really excellent. Old style military hangars there, beautifully weathered. And a beautiful old style fuel truck as well. So here's a high level view of this little military area where you can see the vehicles and tanks here and the buildings. It's really not Roman's fault, but obviously you can look at how these really nice buildings and bits and pieces sit on this really low resolution kind of photo terrain that doesn't really work as much. And again, it's not Roman's fault at all. It's a real pity that this photo scenery isn't of a higher resolution. So there you go, we've gone up a little bit higher. It does work a little bit better, but it still looks really, really low resolution. This just doesn't look too good at all, really. But again, it's not Roman's fault. It's an Oshawa thing, or maybe it's just the photogrammetry at the moment isn't up to date, such that it makes this better. And obviously, I guess it would probably require quite a lot of work to make this all a little bit more 3D and a little bit more workable. I don't know. Again, you have to remember Roman's a one-man band. But you know, this work is excellent. It's lovely. So let's turn the lights down now and have a look at dusk. So there we go, 9:10 in the evening local time. Remember, it's June, the summertime 2022. And you can see we have a really quite a nice little place here with some subtle lighting here and there. When I looked at this earlier, I did notice a lot of Oshawa globes all over the place, which is not necessarily a good thing. And again, it's not necessarily something that I don't know that Roman or anybody could do anything about. But let's look at what's really good about the lighting first, see how it looks. So here's the Oshawa main airport building. Again, you can see in the low light, the lighting generally is good, the building looks great, and you can see inside you get this illusion again of interior bits and pieces going on, which is wonderful. The lights at the top, beautifully crafted, and they are lighting up the correct areas, providing light all over the place, which is excellent. Oh, that's a pity. Cars going through each other, which is a pity. Again, I don't know how much control the developer has over that. But again, going back to the lighting, you can see it's beautiful. All over the place, it's beautiful. No green centerline lighting, but you've got blue airfield edge lights all over the place, which help to delineate the airfield, which is excellent. And as you can see, plenty of lighting here on the main ramp in front of this building. And again, just showing this aircraft maintenance and repair building. Again, you can see the inside because it's been done the way it's been done. Turn the lights down and you get this lovely effect here. And when I first looked at this, I thought, why hasn't he done the entrance? But you have to remember, it's evening time. They've probably all gone home for work, so they left lights on in the building. But of course, you wouldn't expect this to be lit because nobody's going in or out. So to me, it makes perfect sense. So just above this building, just looking at some of the other buildings generally around the field here and looking at the lighting, again, it's really, really nice. Down here you've got this amazing interior building effect again. Well, that's pretty awesome. I love the way that's been done. And there you are looking in through the building again. You can see inside it's really nicely done. And once again, the ground markings are excellent. I mean, this just looks wonderful here. Just wonder if it could be done all over the places where the other buildings sit. It would improve this so much more. So crossing the fence there, as you can see, lighting on the buildings is beautiful. It's just really beautifully done. I'm going to go around the front of this building and then go and have a look at the hangar while we're here. So here's the ground signage as it looks at dusk. Excellent, beautifully done, crisp and clear. There's the wigwags. And there you can see the signs themselves built into the concrete. Very nice indeed. So you've got this pretty much up until 10:30, after which no operations can go, no aircraft can operate. And coming up toward this hangar, I mean, this is a lovely scene here. Stunning lighting, plenty of it, and it extends out to the right amount in my opinion. Looks really good. And there you have the inside of the hangar, beautifully lit. And once again, the interior modelling, or lack of, has been augmented by this illusion of having things going on inside the building. It's really nice. A quick close-up look. I mean, it's very impressive. Couple of fuel trucks. Nice to see one of them's got lighting on them. And a little look at the side of the building. Here's what I mean about the Oshawa globes. You've got one here, and there are others in quite close proximity, which probably could be removed if possible. I don't know. So here's probably a good example. You see, you've got Oshawa globes here, sitting here, producing light, which is very nice, and the light looks great because after all this is a car park. But then where are the actual light poles themselves? Possibly one, I don't know whether that's one there. Let's have a look. No, that's something on the other side of the road. So for this car park, complete with a fence as well, and these lovely buildings, unfortunately, some of them, here's I mean, this is okay here. You can see the lights on the buildings, but you've got one great big bulb up here that lights up the whole of the building, and again you've got it here, which is not terribly realistic. It's a real pity. I don't know what can be done about that. I'm not a developer, so I don't know what can be removed or cleaned up or augmented. I'm not sure. All I know, the lighting is nice here. Nothing wrong with the lighting. What produces it kind of bothers me. But once again, you've got this wonderful illusion here of things going on inside the building. And here he used a different technique with this blue glass, and you still get this illusion kind of with things going on. And they're looking back across the hangar. I mean, you can see inside this building, and as I said, none of these have any internal development apart from the hangars, but it all looks as though they have, and it's just stunning. So a quick tour towards the main hangars just to have a look. Okay, here again you can see Oshawa globes all over the place. The lighting's excellent, but the wrong things are lighting it up, unfortunately. So here we are coming towards the hangars. Beautiful lighting on the buildings. Again, signs there, and as you can see, the hangars that are available to you are lit inside. Just wonderful. I've just come across towards the runway for a last look here. In fact, what we'll do, let's traverse the runway across to the military side. And it does look nice, it looks really lovely. Wigwags reflecting in the grass there. There's the control tower. I'll drop down a bit, you can see it's lit inside as well. Just outside the glass, there you go, looks lovely in there. And just inside the glass, again, beautifully lit. So not an awful lot of lighting up here on the military area. As you can see, you've got one globe here lighting up this little bit of area here where the armoured cars are. But a beautifully done control tower, lighting on the side and the red lights on the top. Looks really, really lovely. And there's a shot of the main area looking from high up. So let's lower the light now to night time and see what you get. Bear in mind this airport is not operational after 10:30 or before 06:30, but we'll have a look at the night lighting anyway. Well, there we go, just upon 11 PM local time, and you can see the sun has gone and the lighting has come up nicely on the airport area itself. Looks really, really good. Runway is nicely lit and the taxiways there, the blue edge lights delineate all of the taxiways really quite nicely. Again, the lighting here on the ramp is excellent and it's come up quite a bit more. All looks good, just looks really beautiful. Nice to see some of the car headlights being lit as well. I do like these animated vehicles, it's really nice, but it's the control of them I think needs to be sorted out. I don't think they should be going in the grass. I have to wait and see whether Roman tells me about whether those are actually meant to be there. But it does bring the airport to life, it just needs a little bit of control I think. Another look at that maintenance building, again beautiful lighting, just really stunning. And looking towards the building, see the problem is you can see all of those Oshawa globes sitting in the sky and they do look a little bit weird if I'm honest. There are street lights I can see here that appear to be giving some light, and to be honest the lighting here is excellent. It's just a pity that it's being provided by these things that are floating in the air. I really don't know if there's anything else that can be done, but please, don't let it detract from what is a beautiful airport, beautifully modelled, wonderfully lit. It's great, it's really great. So as I said before, no flight operations between 22:30 and 06:30 in the morning, only by prior arrangement with the airport manager, which means basically emergency flights. There's a medical centre here, so they would be permitted, but that's pretty much all. There's no general flight operations after 10:30 at night. So let's make our way slowly up towards this hangar, see what's going on here. That's a windsock floating gently in the breeze. A couple of vehicles on the ground there. I mean, doesn't that look so good? It's beautifully done. So there's a high level shot of the main area on the airport for you to have a look at. It's now just after 11 PM now, 11:05. The signage and the ground markings look wonderful. You will need nose gear light if you make an emergency landing in here during the night with prior permission, but it's also nice to see the wigwags flashing into the grass. It just looks lovely. Right, so let's bring the dawn up. So it's 5:40 AM just before sunrise, which is the closest I could get it, and you can still see that you have some light enhancement is still on. The whole area looks beautiful, no question about it. And there we go, 8:10 in the morning and the sun is nicely up, and you've got this beautiful effect on the airport. It just looks lovely. So time to wrap this review up. What do I think? It's wonderful. Is it worth $19.99 Canadian? Yeah, it probably is. Actually, when I sort of redo those prices into UK, I mean this is £12.70 UK or $15 US, which I think is really good, considering this is a beautifully done scenery and it's still under development. This is version 1.02, and Roman is working to fix issues here and there and to sort of update bits and pieces. He has a wonderful set of Canadian airports, and I can highly recommend him as a developer. Again, remember he's a one-man band, so things maybe take a little bit longer than usual. But do I like this? Yes, I do. To be honest, I like all of his airports so far. He's one of those developers that pays real close attention to detail and engages with his public. I've had a nice little relationship with the guy, looking at some of his other products, and I'm totally happy to recommend this one. Beautiful little place, lots of models, things to sort out certainly, but it's a thing that he'll sort out. I'm sure he'll sort out really. But they're minor glitches, you know, missing windsock by Runway 30, which is the primary runway use. That needs to be added. It's not a problem. Don't know about these planes in the grass, whether they're meant to be there or not. They may well be, I don't know. This area looks totally unused, and there's actually a road bit in here, although I can't see that on the charts. So it may be that this actually is used as an overflow, I don't know. But you've got 4 open hangars with beautiful detail inside, lots of buildings, just loads of stuff, custom runways and markings. It's wonderful, thoroughly recommend it. So it's Oshawa Executive Airport, Charlie Yankee Oscar Oscar in Ontario, Canada. Downloads 174 meg and installs at 416 meg. Available from the developer's website. That's flightsimulation.romandesign, or one word, .ca. And then you go to Msfs scenery. You can see the link up in front of you. $19.99 Canadian, which equates to roughly $15.58 US, or £12.70 UK, and I assume those prices include tax or VAT because nothing was added to my invoice. Again, there may be slight variations depending on where you make your purchase, which country you are. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just another example of a wonderful attention to detail and really what you can get out of this sim if you work hard to achieve it. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, saying thank you very much for joining me on this review. Nice to look at a GA airport again. I really must get the Cessna out a lot more. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found it useful. Happy to hear any comments you might have in the comments below. And some more videos coming up shortly. Hoping to take the Headwind A330-900 out for a spin and get some video as well. So thanks for joining, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.